Hello! You are watching The Garden Corner Show. We are a show where we're crazy, passionate about everything gardening that we know of. I am J-Dog John Carson. I'm out here with Mr. Dave, and I have a special guest, Cherie Sigmund from Cedar Glenn Floral. We are out here are we officially out here in boring?
No, we are Damascus.
Damascus.
We can be boring, but this is Damascus.
It's not boring, it's Damascus. Okay, and by the way, your nursery is in an incredible wooded setting. It's just beautiful.
The creek.
Yeah, you got roosters over there, chickens.
Yeah.
I saw a duck in the... Just beautiful out here. And what's even more amazing is she grows plants. So, Cherie, tell me what we've picked out. We've gone through the nursery, and we picked out what I think is some highlights of this place that I want you to know about. And I just called Cherie the echavaria queen. I hope that's okay.
That's okay. I'm going to hand over my crown, though.
Hand over the crown. Tell me about these guys.
Okay. These have become real popular. A lot of the aloes and sedums, echavarias, agaves have just come back just really popular. So what we've done is we've been propagating some. We've been bringing them in offshore, and they're just awesome. They flower. They do well. They're not hardy in the ground, John, over the winter time. They need to be brought inside, but they can be in planters or containers and set outside, or put on the windowsill inside. And they're just so unique. This one's flowering. This is Darinosa. They all flower.
Yeah. They all have an unusual bloom too.
I know, isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Kind of a cool little bloom. This is firecracker because it's a real bright red flower that comes out of it. And this is very hirsute. It's very hairy. It's really neat. The kids love these because they think they look like little panda ears. This one's called Lola or topsy-turvy, and the petals or the leaves on it are convex, so it's kind of neat because it kind of gives us this really kind of Medusa-like look to it.
What was the name on that one again?
This is called Lola.
Lola.
They also call it topsy-turvy. This is a sedum called coppertone, which I think is kind of cool. It's got that two-tone center, and you can pinch this out, and it kind of makes a really nice little bush, but that color is really striking. You can't find that hardly in anything else.
Now, if we weren't to do anything else with this would just get taller?
Taller and taller.
Okay.
What it would do in nature is it would just kind of bend over and fall onto the ground, and then it would start rooting along the little leaflets, and then it would just kind of then start branching out from there. That's its normal habit.
Now, if we were just to take a piece of this and stick it into soil, would that take on?
Yep, that's how we propagate them.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we can break off little leaves from this. Oh, look at this. You can see there's little plants growing at the base.
Yeah.
So then they grow, as long as if you break a piece of this leaf off and it's got part of the stem left on there, that's what we were talking about, the meristem, where it'll actually start rooting and start growing from that point.
Wow.
And if you pinch off this top, the whole top, you could stick that whole thing into the soil. It will root, and then this will all branch out and form more plants all the way around the edges of it. Kind of fun. It's fun to experiment. I know everyone's afraid to touch their plant and pinch it and do stuff to it.
I got to know about this one.
That's
take
super
a look.
Cool. This is aloe polyphylla. This is swirl. It's called swirl. And up at the Tacoma zoo up there, when we were up there on the edge, these live outside all year round in a area that has really good drainage. But they were up to about, 2 feet across.
Really?
And they were just gorgeous because what happens is it starts to form this concentric spiral. So when you look down at it, it looks like someone has just taken it and twisted, like napkins, has twisted the whole thing around. And as it gets bigger, it forms a spiral into the center. It's still flat and big, but it has a really beautiful center to it. It's just gorgeous. These are hardy here, down to, I think, about 5 degrees.
Wow, very neat.
Very interesting.
And this is an aloe swirl.
Swirl.
Okay. So very
They're
neat.
around. You can look for them. You can find them.
And I think you can find them at the garden corner too.
Yeah, if you look closely. Now this is a really cool. This is a brand new little sedum. This one's picolette, and it's one of the darker leaved, more compact. Everyone was familiar with like Autumn Joy. Autumn Joy was like the most popular one, and it's a Cebollii. And this is a different species, but they've bred them to have darker foliage, darker flowers. This has a really beautiful kind of ruby colored dusty flower on it, and it stays more compact than the old-fashioned ones do. And beautiful flowers in the fall, very easy to propagate, spreads a little bit as you can see, but just makes a beautiful plant. And it matches your outfit.
Yeah. It's a great contrasting plant too. Those grasses or
yeah,
something,
it's when you're looking for round foliage and spiky foliage and things of that type, this is great for it's xerophytic. It's great in dry areas.
Okay.
So it's great for that, what's that, hell strip that people have trouble with growing stuff in. Great around boulders. Great in areas that you just, the hose doesn't reach all the way over there to, those areas. It'll survive on its own just fine.
What was that word you used? Xerophytic?
Well, yeah, like
okay.
Xeriscaping. They call it xeriscaping. I know it's too big of a word.
Is it too big? Too big of a word for me.
but
regular people probably understand.
No. That's a plant that will grow in drier areas. Once it's established, it'll grow in drier areas.
Okay. Xerophytic.
Okay.
Tell me about this guy.
Oh, this is a new one out of Terra Nova. This is sweet tea, and we just had a few of them last year. Do you love that bronzy color?
Yeah, it's
Isn't
just
that
amazing.
gorgeous? It's orange, and leaves just get bigger and bigger on it. It's absolutely gorgeous plant. It's a heucherella, actually, and it's called sweet tea. And there's another new one out that's even got a darker patch in the center. That's called brass lantern, I believe it is. And it's actually just a gorgeous thing. New plant it's relatively new. It's only been out for maybe about 3 years now on the market, and we have high demand for it. We're growing quite a few of them, and you'll find it at the garden corner. I've learned my lesson.
What a wonderful guest she is, isn't she? And a heucherella is a cross between a heuchera and a tiarella.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
and both in great shade plants?
Excellent shade plant. Actually, bright light, not deep
Morning
dark,
sun,
shade. Any place that hostas are going to grow, this is going to grow well. Anywhere that the heucheras grow, ferns grow, this will grow. A lot of people, there's so many different types of shade. It doesn't do well underneath the spruce tree in that dry shade area. Not much does.
You can find the truth here on the show, of course. Now, I brought this one out only because there's always such demand for this.
There is.
And yet, oftentimes people overlook this. They don't quite know what to do with it. It is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Tell me about this guy.
Purple Setcressia, or they call it purple heart, and it's just got these beautiful purple leaves to it. This is a little older growth. The new growth is coming out, and they're fairly hardy. They use them for ground cover, a little bit further south. They actually, some people say that they'll live over here in containers, but it just makes a nice, full, bushy container plant. You can put it in the ground, but I like to add it. There's nothing that matches this purple color. This is just beautiful, and there's a variegated form of this. It has pink stripes down the center of it, which works well. The only other thing that comes close to this is like the Persian shield. That plant has that same kind of purple color. But for people who love purple, and you have a half sunny, half shady spot, this will satisfy their needs. It also grows inside.
Yeah, it really kicks in the late summer too, I think.
Yes,
so. Yeah.
Warmer.
It has that even neon purple bloom.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes the picture's really nice on the tag. But this is a great one for container stuffing. On the sides of the container, it will kind of come down over the edge. And we grow a lot of it. Not a lot of producers produce this one, so it's kind of cool to have a lot of it. We keep it on hand all the time.
Well, that is a full selection of plants. I hope you enjoy. I think that's a full show, would you say?
Yes, I think so. That's
Cherie,
a mouthful.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We've got more. We're going to hear some more from Cherie later on the next show. But that's the show for the day. I hope you enjoy. Lest you didn't get anything from it, I do, believe it or not, have a quote for the day. Except I have it on the clipboard over here. Let me see. It is... Oh, here we go. We're super organized on this show. If you don't get everything you want, think of the things you don't want that you don't get. Thank you very much, Oscar Wilde. That's the show for the day. Are you ready?
Yes,
1, 2, 3. Live your passion.
You see me right out of the sunset on the color TV screen.